Okay, we are here on Royal Caribbean Mariner of the Seas, and I'm going to go over one of my latest and greatest roulette strategies for low limit players. For as little as $10 a bet, you can implement my opposite neighborhood strategy. I came up with this on my own because I am a professional roulette player. Not really, but I mean, I play at the professional level. And I notice a lot of times, not always, but the action of the ball will stay in the same neighborhood for multiple spins, or it will jump to the opposite side and go on to that neighborhood. And so a neighborhood, in my definition, is 5 numbers in one little section. So in other words, if you have, say, the 20 neighborhood, so that will include 17, 32, 20, 7, and 11. So that is a neighborhood. So for example, if the ball lands on 20, your next bet would be this neighborhood. Then you would go to the opposite side, which would be 19. So then you would do 19, 12, 8, 31, and 18. And that is simply how this works. Now, this is the key. Sometimes the dealers go fast, so you need to have the wheel basically memorized. You need to know the neighborhoods to get your bets down fast. If it's a busy table, you should be okay, but when the wheel is spinning, you need to pick out where the ball is and get those 5 numbers, and then you go to the opposite side. Usually it's a number in succession, like for example 7, normally you would go to 8. If you do 6, it's not quite opposite, because if you go from 7 to 6, 6 is, you see there's 8, but 6 is over to the side. So that really doesn't cover it. So the same thing with 5 and 6. 5 is here, you go to the opposite side and play the 6 neighborhood. Very simply, you can do that with $1 per chip. That's 10 numbers, that's $10 bet. Now, once you get the bankroll built up, you can place some insurance bets simply on red or black. I don't recommend any more than $10 on red or black. Do 5 on red or black, and you can bet whatever you want. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter what the previous spins were, but a lot of people like to look at the board, and you know, if I were to look at the board and say, well, all the numbers are red, I would just keep betting red for my insurance bet. But do that after you've built up some winnings and you can afford to play $5 to $10 on the color. Sometimes it's an insurance bet. You don't get the numbers, but you get your half of your bet back, or your whole bet back if you bet a color correctly. You could hit both, or you could lose both. So, you know, it's gambling. What else can I say? I can say that you can adapt this to any level of play. So if you want to use 2 chips per space, you can make it $20 per bet. 3 chips, $30, and then you can use $5 chips and do $50 bets. I'm going to be doing that tonight. Do $5 chips and play the bets with $5 chips. 10 spaces, so you have 10 numbers covered, 38 numbers on the wheel, so you have 1 out of 3.8 to win, and you only need 1 win to make up for 3 losses. So we can't do live roulette on the ships, but let's just take a look at the number board. And if we were playing here last night, let's see how we would have done. Okay, so this is just random, you know, and so, like I said, it's gambling. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the dealer keeps spinning the ball and it keeps landing a quarter of the way. So if you get multiple spins where it's just not working out, then maybe switch tables. But if you get a good dealer that the pattern just keeps going from one side of the wheel to the other, or in the same neighborhood, it works out really good. So before we do the board, let's just go back over the bets. So say you have $10 bets and you have your 10 chips out here. One number pays $35. So 35 to 1, these are all straight up numbers. So you bet 10, you get a win, you get $35. So say you go through 3 spins in a row, nothing. You lose $30. The next spin, you get a hit, you get 35. You know, you're back. So that's how that works. Again, no guarantees, but I've done this 5 out of 5 times and I've doubled my bankroll every time. And I just did a $100 buy-in, and each time I cashed out with over 200. And I mean, conceivably, the first 1 or 2 spins, you can triple your money. But you know, who wants to quit after 1 or 2 spins? Okay, let's take a look at the board. Let's just see how we would have done. Okay, so to use an example, say the number we showed up and the number was 36. Okay, so the balls landed on 36. So in this example, you would bet 1, 13, 36, 24, and 3. You'd go to the opposite side, which would be 35. You would do 4, 23, 35, 14, and 2. Next number was 8, you would have lost. Okay, and $10 down. Theoretical. All right, so now 8. Let's go to the 8 neighborhood. Now here you would play 29, 12, 8, 19, and 31. That's $5 there. You'd go to the opposite side, you'd do the 7 neighborhood. 32, 27, 11, 30. Okay, the next spin would have been 16. We would have lost. Okay, but here's where it gets interesting. So 2 losses, that's 20 bucks. All right, so say 16 hits. Now, do the 16 neighborhood. 21, 33, 16, 4, and 23. So basically the number and two on each side of the number. Okay, that's 16. Then you go to the opposite side, 15. You do 24, 3, 15, 34, 22. All right, spinning. Next number 15, you gotta win. So it pays 35 bucks. Do the same thing. Now you do 15 neighborhood, 24, 3, 15, 34, 22. You go on the opposite side, 16, 33, 21, 4, and 23. Next spin. Look at that, 16, you won again. So you won 2 spins in a row. So now let's see, you would have lost 20 bucks, then you won 35, then you won 35. So you'd be up 50 bucks right now. Okay, so 16, let's do that again. The next number would be 12, and to speed it up, you wouldn't have won on that one. But let's go back to number 12. 12 is quarter of the way here. So the neighborhood you would have bet would have been here and here, and the ball landed here. So halfway across, a quarter of the way. So we're gonna do the 12 neighborhood. So you do 2 on each side and the number. So 25, 29, 12, 8, and 19. Then we go across to 11. You would do 26, 30, 11, 7, and 20. So what came after 12? It went back again, a quarter of the way, back to 15. So we would have lost there. You're still gonna be up though. So now we're gonna play those 2 neighborhoods again. And then it hit 00. And once again, it just went a quarter of the way. So we would have lost that. So we would have been close to even right now. So the next spin, we would bet the neighborhood of 0. So that's those 5 numbers. We'd go to the single 0. That's those 5 numbers. And would hit 25. Okay, so 25 would have been a loser. So where's 25? All right, so there's 25. Now you play that neighborhood. You go 12, 29, 25, 10, 27. You go across to 26. You play that neighborhood. Well, the next spin actually came up to 8, so it went over 1 more. So we just missed the neighborhood. It was right there. Our neighborhood was right there, and we just missed it. And then the next spin looks like it was 15, so it went back again a quarter of the way. So you could see this wheel probably would have moved on by this point at a slight loss, maybe 20 or 40 bucks, maybe, because the ball keeps going. It does do a couple of opposite sides, but it does a lot of quarter, back and forth quarter. So that one probably wouldn't work out too good. 31 and then 27, that wouldn't have worked out. And then 20. So that's how this strategy works. In this case, you would have got some wins here. Overall, you probably would have lost a little bit of money, but I would say by the time you get up into here, about 6 or 7 spins into it, it's time to switch tables. If the ball just keeps moving, you know, instead of opposite or in the neighborhood, if it keeps moving like this, then that's not a good one. You can't do that. But, you know, that's where you'll have to judge, and that's where it's gambling. But, you know, you can get on a nice streak, and I've done a lot where you get 6 or 7 in a row, and it works out great. But once you start getting 4 or 5 in a row and you see what the colors are, you could start putting $5 on the color as an insurance bet. So that is my $10 opposite neighbor strategy, and you can use it with any denomination. So another thing I would say is watch the first few spins before you play. You don't know who spun the previous, say you jump up here and you know the dealer's here, but you don't know who spun all those numbers. Watch 2 or 3 spins from the dealer and see where the ball is. If it just keeps landing randomly, quarter, back, quarter, switch tables, go to another table where you see the ball consecutively staying in the same neighborhood or going to the opposite. You can catch a lot of numbers in a row doing that. And you don't have to worry about what numbers are hitting. You just need to look at the action of the ball. So that is my opposite neighbor strategy. And I will add one more thing. As you are winning, I would recommend, once you're about double your money, I would add at least one number on one of the neighborhoods. You don't want to add too many because it cuts into your profit. So in other words, instead of 10 numbers, go to 11. So pick one of the neighborhoods and go out one more. So say, for example, the 11 neighborhood is one of your bets. So ball lands on 11. Go ahead and do 27, 11, 30, 26, and then pick either 32 or 9 just to expand that neighborhood 1. You don't want to go too many of the same amount of bet because it cuts into your profit. So that's another strategy. But you got to watch the action of the ball. Another idea is, instead of that, say like in this case, 15 kept hitting. 15 hit like 3 times. I know it has no bearing what previously hit, but if you're in a profit and you want to expand one more number to play 11, I would put 15 on every spin and then do your neighborhoods. This way, if you're going to play this neighborhood and this neighborhood, you have at least one other number covered that just seems to keep hitting for some reason. You can do that. And you can also do $5 to $10 on red or black as an insurance bet. So give it a try. You have a good chance of doubling your bankroll. And I hope you enjoy. I hope you like and subscribe to this. And of course, the thumbs up. And I will have some more videos on roulette strategy later, coming from another Royal Caribbean cruise ship near you. Thanks again for watching, and peace out.